Hello everybody. On this video we'll try to explain in more detail how does this file works, especially the tabs stats, match odds, strategies, and these two green tabs as well. The 1x2s, under and overs, correct scores, and Dutching and booking. So starting on the stats, for instance, the first step you do, you come to this menu here, this drop down, and you select whatever league you want to check the stats from. For instance, I left it on Argentina. There you go. So you click in here, and this goes to the web from a specific website and collects all the stats updated to whatever date you are collecting the stats from. Just have to wait a second until it collects all the information. Again, as I said on previous videos, this will take some time depending on your internet speed and your laptop as well. Now, okay, it seems that the information is collected. You can see straight away the league table and whatever matches are going to happen in the near future. So it doesn't really matter, but let's say we'll look at the River Plate Racing. So come here, select River Plate, select what's the other team, Racing Club. Where is the Racing Club? Yeah. Straight away, a few information starts to come up straight away. Now all you see in here is the current stats related to both teams in separate, but if you click on this button here, see the fourth step, search last matches, he actually compares the last 6 matches and gives you an idea in terms of how the teams are performing lately. There you go, you have the latest results for both teams, for River Plate and Racing here. So you can analyze this for final time scores, half-time scores. So starting from the beginning in terms of all the stats that are here. So you get the calculation of the odds for this particular match using the distribution of Poisson, which is a simple enough statistical analysis for calculation of odds. There's much more complex ways of calculating the odds, but usually this is not far from what actually the book is give to you. So there you go, latest 6 match, 4 wins for River Plate, 1 draw, 1 lose. Goals forward, goals against, how many points, same for the Racing Club. Here in terms of Takuti analysis, if you want to understand what's Takuti, just Google it, you will understand it. So it's an analysis for over and under goals in a particular match. In here you have the Takuti analysis, but you always have the distribution of Poisson analysis in the same kind of box, so it's easy to compare, and it tells you more or less what kind of bets you should be betting. For this Takuti is accurate enough usually. I have some success with that as well, and I follow this as well. Now sequences, winning, drawing, losing, without winning, without drawing, without losing, without goals forward, without goals against, and you have here a brief analysis of that. Here it's all the analysis in terms of points and goals. Where do they have more points? So it's home or away. Goals more home or away. Average goals at home, average goals away, average goals overall. Also, we have a distribution of all the goals scored and suffered for every 15 minutes, which gives you an idea how the teams perform in terms of the time of the match, where they are most likely score or conceded a goal. Again, average points home and away overall. Full-time score prediction using both analysis, distribution of Poisson, and a simple correct score. There's no 2.6 goals kind of thing, so it's just two different analyses here for full-time. For half-time, the same thing. Again, I have two different analyses for both teams to score. Sometimes they are different. In this case, it's not too different. Here, the analysis is just by using the distribution of Poisson statistics, and here where you have the 2-2, for instance, in terms of odds, 50-50%, it's only analyzing this information here, which, as you can see, is very, very similar from both teams. Over and under odds, again, distribution of Poisson, full-time and half-time, likelihood of a team scoring a goal in a particular time frame for both teams, home and away. In here, you have the draw no bet odds and a double possibility odds in here. Below you have an extended view of it's kind of a white table with all the information that you can see, and here you have the 6 latest matches for both teams, home and away, which give you an idea of how the teams are performing lately. Here you have some statistic comments as well, which are useful. For instance, Racing Club has scored 93% of their home games, 72% of Racing's points have been earned at home, so on and so forth. And here you have another under and over analysis. All the games played, home. This is the total. This is only the home and away analysis. So as you can see, for instance, Racing Club have scored all the matches that Racing Club have been played. 100% of them had more than had at least one goal, so on and so forth. Both teams to score statistics, both for totals and home and away. Clean sheets, fail to score, win 2-0, lose 2-0, so on and so forth. So you can have a good impression in terms of how the teams are performing, and hopefully if you analyze all this information in together, you might be able to select your picks or your strategies for a particular match. Again, as I said on previous videos, there's 100 and something leagues available in here. They're not in alphabetic order. Basically, they are in terms of importance, let's say. Of course, the European leagues are in the beginning. But anyway, you can see in here, in these settings, all the leagues that are available, which are the ones shown before in there. So all the leagues, I have 124 leagues available. Okay, So that's it. So in terms of stats, you can choose whatever match. You can choose another match. For instance, I don't know. I'll do Zivi Boca Juniors, for instance. Where's here we go. Boca Juniors, I think, is in first. Again, click in here again to allow for these boxes to be updated. There you go, all the information in here. All of this is updated as well, so you can choose whatever game you want to see. Let's just have one more go. I don't know, let me see. First one. This one and this one. Tigra. There you go. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, I'll explain what this strategy cell is. So there you go. Every time this as you see, this doesn't come up for every single match. When this cell here says strategy, it means that I have an embedded code before behind all of this. And then when some particular conditions come up, basically it selects me a strategy to follow. In this case, this file suggests me to bet on over 1.5 goals as punter picks. Basically, that's what this gives me. There's a few strategies embedded here, which I go through it in a little while. But again, if you want to analyze game by game, that's what you have to do. Now, changing to this tab here, match odds. This tab here, basically what it does is comes to this tab, the stats tab, collects all the odds information that it's in here and pastes it to here. So to do that, all you have to do is click this button here, see, fill odds. So it changes all these odds here for correct score, both teams to score, match odds, and over and under. And here it tells you what are the bottom 5 selections for correct score, which are all these percentages in white, and gives you the top 5 selections, which are the ones in green. Okay, and basically if you click on this button here now, it will copy all of this information, not all, sorry, only the top selections, either the bottom or the top. Copy those 5 plus 5, 10 selections and moves them to this Dutch book. If you, for instance, if you are interested in, let's say, selecting, for instance, the 1-0, okay, you come here, see transfer odds to Dutch book, force. You can force some of the results to be forward to that tab. As you can see, all these percentages change straight away. You can force this for the back side of things and for delay side of things. For instance, if you want to force the 0-1 as well, you can do that as well. You click in here, as I said, and it moves all the, in this case, 6 tops now, or 6 selections, bottom and top. There you go. So you have 6 selections here and the 6 selections for the lay. Bear in mind that the 1-0 that we selected to act in there came up in here, and 0-1 move to there as well. Again, so you can have, if you want to do Dutching, you put your fixed stake in there, and it basically breaks it in auto stakes for the particular selections you have in there. If you later on want to update these odds as per your bookie, you can. For instance, mention this is 19, this is 11, and this is 13, this is 12, this is, let's call it, I don't know, 9. This is 12 again, whatever. You can change whatever to whatever odd is offered to you, and it will do the auto stakes for you and gives you a prediction in terms of what outcome you can have or not. You can force a zero profit in one of the selections, where you're only covering it and you increasing the potential profit on the other selections. All you have to do is come here and select yes. As you can see, the potential profit is here, but it's covered. At least you don't lose money. At least you don't lose money, but it increases the potential profit on the other selections. Okay, and updates the stake as well for you. I'm sorry, shouldn't select that one because there's no odd in there. But if you want to leave it even for all the particular selections, just leave it like that. Again, same principle for the booking. You can change the odds and all of that, and exactly the same thing. I'm not going to go through over there. Here is just for a strategy if you want to test. Do Dutching for the back the loser strategy. You can read it on the internet. What does this mean? And basically, this section here allows you to test that strategy as well. Simple. It's all the same principle as the Dutching and the Dutching here and the booking there. And here is same principle. It's only for testing. You don't need to use this tab together with this one. You can basically come here and delete everything and put whatever information you want in there, and it gives you the particular Dutching and booking selections. Okay, so that's it in terms of Dutching, booking, match odds. Now strategies. As I said to you, I've embedded some of the strategies in here. This file at the moment, this can be changed, but at the moment it gives you picks for over 1.5, over 2.5, both teams to score no, both teams to score yes, and draws as well. As I say here, at least don't select more than 10 leagues ago, because it takes a long. Because bear in mind that this tab here goes to all the leagues that you select, and goes through every single match in those leagues, and tells you if there's any particular strategies that you should follow in it. Now, where do you select those leagues? It's here, and these tab settings. You see in here strategies, yes, no, yes, no. So for instance, let's select the Argentina again. This is the end of the season in Europe, so basically all you have it's South America football leagues at the moment, and I think Scandinavian. Let's try Denmark, as Scandinavian leagues are still going on. So just select how many? 3, 4. Select 3 or 4 now, just for as an example for yourselves. So you have those leagues selected, so it's 4, and you can come here and it will check for strategies on those leagues. So you click in here and you just wait. This might take a while, so just wait and see if you want to go for a coffee or whatever. And this will do all the calculations, check all the matches for you, and it will give you any potential picks that you should follow. Now, this might take a while, so I'm going to pause the video, and when everything is done, I'll come back to yourselves. Okay, just a second. So here we are again. So from all the leagues selected in this particular case, the Excel file only selected the game that we randomly picked for over and under, for over 1.5 on this particular match. But again, if there was other strategies to follow, it would come up in here for the other leagues, or even for the same league. If there was other matches where the conditions were met, it would come up in here. Again, just pay attention to this. Don't select more than 10 leagues at a time in here, because it might take a while. So going, if you wanted to go again for other leagues, basically all you have to do is just select other leagues, whatever leagues you want. You want to just make sure you don't select more than 10. I'm saying 10 is just a random figure, as I know for experience that this takes a while, so just take a few of them at a time. That's it for now. Just one more thing about this tab here. This tab here is basically to test some strategies. I have already a strategy listed in here, which is available on the internet. I just found it the other day, and basically you can test your own strategies, taking in consideration all these markets that I have listed here. Basically, it tells you, or it tells you what the result of that strategy can be. I'll tell you, for instance, how this works. For instance, this is a strategy for games that have usually plenty of goals. I only use it for over the ones that the stats file here tells me that it's more likely to have more than 2.5 goals. So I'll tell you how this works, just for curiosity. So in the beginning of the match, of course, it starts 0-0. So basically, in the beginning of the match, you have this kind of odds for the under 0.5 and over 1.5. We have odds around these figures here. Okay, so you use these kind of stakes as well, similar to these. So in the end, if the match has no goals or over 1.5, you get either 50 euros or 200 and something euros for these stakes. Okay, profit. Now, okay, you tell me now, oh, but you're not covered with in the situation where there's only one goal. As you can see, there's this greens and yellows, greens and reds. The reds are the selections that are not, let's say, covered by any other potential bet that you have. So when a goal occurs, and this strategy it's only good to follow if the goal happens in the first half. If it happens in the second half, or it happens late on the second half, you might not be able to have this sort of profits. Let me go back because I can't remember what odds I had here. So imagine that the first, there you go. Yeah, imagine that the first goal, either the 1-0 or the 0-1, occurs early in the match, let's say the first half, and you get an odd roughly of 11.5, and if you use this stake, basically it tells you that you have, for the whole strategy, you have a liability of 221 euros, and you have a potential profit of 11 euros regardless of how many goals the match have. Basically, you have a nearly 5% profit. Again, this is just an example. You can test whatever strategy. If the game has 2 goals, as you can see, still it changes slightly, because again, the selection that wins is this one. Your potential profit changes a little bit. If it's 2-1, doesn't really matter. After you have this one gone in, you'll win regardless. So this is just an example how to test your strategies. You can put whatever odds and stakes in here, and allows you to test that as well. So basically that's it. If you have any doubts or any questions or even suggestions, you can contact me through the Facebook page that is in the description below, or even by my email. So thank you for watching.